It really makes you think.
She does this to me every single time. No, what I was saying is when it comes to, because I do that same thing. I rewatch shows over and over and over again, and Sean thinks I'm absolutely crazy. He's like, there's so many good shows and movies streaming now, like quality stuff. He's like, but yet you go back to the same things over and over. And I've actually thought about this, and I'm like, I think it's because I like knowing how things end, and I enjoy the process of getting there. So I will rewatch it over and over again.
Well, it's also, you can put it on and do other things and not have to focus on it.
Yeah.
At least that for me.
Well, true enough.
Because then I know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I can just.
What are some shows that you watch over and over again?
I really love Superstore. Superstore is one that I am recently rewatching because I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
I don't even know what this is.
It's like a workplace sitcom comedy, but it's set in like a Walmart type store. It's a fictional store called Cloud9, but it's about the employees that work there and like all the crazy customers that come in. And it's a really nifty show. I like it a lot.
What's it streaming on?
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I've watched it, but I haven't watched the whole thing. I've just seen.
It's a good show for like little tastes of it, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that. But on complete other end of the spectrum, you have something like Arcane, which is not something that you watch while doing something else at the time.
I've never even heard of that.
No, I haven't heard of that either.
Guys,
God,
you gotta lock in.
I'm so not
It's
cool.
the best show on Netflix right now, I swear.
Amelia, this is why we have you around us, so you can keep us cool and up to speed on what's hot.
You guys have to watch Arcane.
Okay, I'll look
into
into
legit.
What's that on?
It's on Netflix.
No.
It's like the biggest show on Netflix right now.
We canceled Netflix.
Why? Oh gosh, no, we're not going to get into it. I'm sure there's a reason.
I mean, we did too, but it's for reasons of just like we use YouTube Premium more than any of our other streaming services.
Yep.
I love YouTube Premium.
We did get Netflix back for one night only to watch the fight, and then
You're so funny. That's hysterical.
Was it good?
No.
Yeah, I thought so.
No, the fight was bad and the service was bad. We missed half of it because the streaming was bad.
I would much
Netflix
rather see Paul and Tate go at it. That would be a good fight.
Tate and Andrew Tate?
Yes.
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Tyson's
old, man.
I know.
It feels like wrong that they're fighting.
I felt like Tyson did a good job considering he's 50
He's
something,
like 59 or something
50,
like that.
Yeah,
58. He's almost 68.
Yeah. And Logan's what?
He's like 19, 20 years younger than him.
Yeah, he's like 28 or 27, something like that.
I don't know. But that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
I missed it completely because I just like clicked onto it because I was like, oh, I wonder what this is about. First thing that they told me was, so get all your friends and all your family and tell them to sit in front of their TV and watch this. I'm like, oh, there's 20 people watching this right now. That's why you're saying this bullshit? Okay, goodbye.
Yeah. Nope. Bye. So maybe we should actually officially introduce who we're talking to right now. I think it's a good idea.
Could be fun.
Yeah. Why not?
So we have had both of her parents on separately.
Scary.
Awesome episodes.
Yes. I was thinking about this last night because I was super excited for this guest. And I was thinking, do we want to just limit our each season to one teen, Palmas teen? It's a special.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. In season 1, we had Emily.
Yep.
And now we have Emilia.
Kicking off season 2 with Emilia.
I love it.
It's the most wonderful time
of the year.
This chick, oh my God. Like,
I spill water all over myself.
You're fine. So we've known you now for, a few years. And like,
I moved here when I was 12, yeah.
Yeah, but I've only been here I'm going on 4 years.
I'm going on 4
years.
So we're all like right around the same time.
Yeah.
And I think I first met you when I joined the D&D game.
Oh,
at your parents' house. Yeah.
I had my buzz cut.
And yeah. And I sat next to you, and I had a really hard time focusing on the game because I'd watch you doodling the whole time. And I'm like, gosh, damn, this girl, she's so talented. Like, this
I remember
chick.
that.
Oh, my gosh. I don't remember that, but I remember, like, hearing about you, and then Joel would come home with pictures. That you had done.
Yeah, I would like draw pictures of people's D&D characters. That was fun.
Yeah. We still have one of your pictures that you gave us in the living room.
Cool.
I wouldn't mind a picture drawn of my character.
Okay.
Revetica.
Revetica.
She's a hot elf.
Oh, I see. How did we come across the name Revetica?
I have no idea. Okay, you know what? Here's what
It came
happened.
to you in a vision?
Many years ago.
Okay, many moons ago.
Long time ago.
In a land far, far away.
In a land far, far away, known to some as Wisconsin.
Oh.
Sean and I had decided to play World of Warcraft because we got together and I'm just like, I think that game is fun and I'm like such a nerd, and he was like, oh yeah, well let's start playing, we'll come up with new characters and just like start questing together. And I'm like, awesome. So of course I make my hot elf and and he's like, okay, we have to come up with like really great names. And I have no idea how Revetica, it literally just came into my mind. And so I'm like, that sounds pretty good. And his character was Vinteris.
Oh, I see. Was it kind of like a say something until it sounds like a real word situation?
For him or mine?
It sounds like both.
It sounds like both. I have no idea. And it's one of those things where maybe at some point in my life you hear words and they put together at some point in your head, and then all of a sudden it came out of my mouth. It actually, I think, was the first one to come out of my mouth.
Wow.
And I'm like, how's that? And Sean, because he's always got an opinion about that kind of stuff, he was just like, yeah, that's good. And I'm like,
pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty good.
I like it.
I was proud of myself.
It's definitely not the kind of thing that you would see in like a generative thing, because those generative name things are just like
They're always lame.
Snifflebottom. That's like, what? I'm trying to have an edgy emo elf character right now with a super dark backstory and like a dog that died or something like that. And you want Snifflebottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snifflebottom.
Do you have a character that you...
I haven't played any role-playing games in a long time.
Boo.
I'm trying to remember. When I was a kid, it was always like an elf rogue, because I thought that was really cool. But no, I haven't played in a really long time. I mean, I'm very attached to my Mass Effect Andromeda character, but then I ran into a ton of bugs in that game, and I wasn't actually able to proceed. So that kind of was lost to me. But yeah, no, I mean, I haven't played in a while. I've been really focusing on like schoolwork and music and that kind of stuff. So.
Oh my gosh, this girl right here. I've been really
So,
focusing on my schoolwork. And
speaking of
and stuff.
you're so awesome.
We've had 2 guests on this show so far that have provided us with a list of topics.
We always love that.
We do.
And I never looked, and you didn't send it to me, and I forgot to look online to see if it was posted. So I actually have no idea what your questions are.
It was in the show notes if you looked at the show notes.
My bad.
But she doesn't do that.
No, I don't do that. That's why I have.
You're the only 2 people in the show.
That's why I have a producer. That's what she's for. She's so good at it.
So you're graduating this year?
Not well. I mean, it's
Not
difficult. Yeah, I am graduating this year. I'm in my senior year, and I will be graduating.
Wait, but how old are you?
May. I'm 16.
Oh, look at you.
I turned
Graduating
17.
early.
Yeah, I am graduating early. I was in first grade when I was 4, so I got a kickstart. I learned how to read and write when I was like 4 or something, and I was just it came to me like that, and then so I've been like a grade ahead my entire life. And then there was this like weird stint where I repeated 6th grade so I could be around kids my age and that's in the terms. But then I said it right again with
what grade?
Studying 6th grade. 6th grade.
I'm so happy right now. I don't lose your train of thought. I'm just so happy because my family, my friends, they make fun of me because that's a word that I have a very hard time saying. So I totally leave out the X and I say 6th. Sixth. And I'm like,
grade.
no, they're like,
yeah, I was in 5th grade and it was super awesome.
Sixth. And I'm like, I don't know why I have a hard time saying the X with the TH at the end of it. I don't know.
Letter X
Sixth.
is a toughie.
6th.
So,
Screw
yeah.
you at 6th.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I have my own challenges.
Oh. Anyway.
But yeah, I graduate next year. The reason I gave you a list of topics is that I was like scared that I would just ramble about the same thing for like, because if you
You
let
get
me,
this from your mother.
if you let me, I'll talk about My Chemical Romance for this entire episode. I will explain to you what the band is. I'll explain to you the members, their lore, how old they are. I share a birthday with Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, by the way.
Oh. Just saying.
That's the average reaction. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I remember when they first came out. Long time ago.
Many moons
Wow,
ago.
is this going to be a like musical episode?
I hope so.
Okay.
You
I
could-
was a theater kid.
I can always hope.
Why am I not surprised by that?
Yeah, I'm not a theater kid anymore. I've changed. I'm
But
better
you-
now.
But you were.
But I was. and
What are
that's the
some of
issue.
your iconic roles?
Okay, so I was cast as Gaston in a Beauty and the Beast Junior production because we had one boy in the entire troupe and he played the little teacup. So all the other, he was tiny. We couldn't have him play the Beast.
Oh my gosh.
So
my
That's funny.
goodness.
it was a very much all female production. And I played Gaston. And then I think I also played in an Aladdin Junior. In Aladdin Broadway, they added like a bunch of characters to be like Aladdin's friends so that he isn't just talking to a pet monkey the entire time he's on stage. So I played one of those friends. But honestly, I don't have a lot of like theater productions under my belt. I just have like obsessions with musicals. Really to back me up in the saying of being a theater kid.
Which is why
yeah.
when we did musical karaoke at your house, you had like, I mean, they were singing songs that I've never even have no clue about.
I mean,
And
I
she knew.
I took that thing by storm. I was so excited. Yeah, I think I did After Today from A Goofy Movie, which
Yeah,
is
I know.
it's a really great movie. You
What
gotta
are
see
what are
it.
what are a couple of your like favorite musicals?
Well, I gotta say Hamilton
I
because
was waiting for that.
I've seen Hamilton twice.
Uh-huh.
I have the book. I have the lyric book,
Uh-huh.
and I can recite the entire musical by
Wow.
memory. I'm not gonna do that right now
Yeah.
because we will be here for the next like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure this runtime is only gonna be an hour.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look out for that.
I love it. This is so much fun already.
I know.
And you know what? I was totally expecting this because when I saw you at the Dirty Coin premiere, we ended up chatting for a very long time.
we did,
and I'm
yeah.
like, this chick is so freaking interesting and so fun and just
I mean,
so
are you really surprised? Look at her
confident
parents.
and just I know exactly, right? But it's just I'm so impressed by you. And I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks.
Same.
To me, I'm a freak weirdo. So,
No.
No.
but like a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
well,
aren't a freak weirdo.
Like a
not,
silly one.
Not even
Yeah.
a little bit. No. No. Everybody else is the freaks. You're
Yeah, I see.
awesome.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. So yeah, what
Okay.
what else do we have on the topics
Well,
list?
from your list. So I mean, we've talked about this a little bit, but I really want to hear about Cambridge.
Oh yeah, that
So
one.
you
I
went
can
to
talk about.
Cambridge
Oh my gosh,
this
I'm so
summer.
excited.
I
to hear about
did.
this.
That was my first time flying alone. It was my first time flying alone. It was 2 planes, and it was international. And I was so scared and nervous.
Yeah.
And then, by some twist of fate, nobody sat next to me on both flights.
Nice.
I
Oh, you
know.
got so lucky.
I was
Yeah.
on an international flight to from I think like Philly to London, and I was in a 2-seater, and no one was next to me.
Yay,
And I
that's
got
a
to lay
win.
down. It was
Oh
amazing.
my goodness, that is such a win. Gosh,
So,
good for you. That's
I
amazing.
landed in London at like 5 a.m. and then I met up with all of the people that were going to be in my bus group. And then we waited for like 3 hours in just like the middle of the London airport. And, you know, I
At
made
Heathrow.
Heathrow, yeah.
Did you see anybody famous?
I think if I did, I wouldn't have noticed.
Okay. Because supposedly Heathrow is it's known for, like, if you go to Heathrow, you're either supposed to see somebody you know or see somebody famous. Like that's. I've been there many times and
have
it's
you
never
ever been
happened.
to an airport and you've seen someone famous at like any airport?
Does Marjorie Taylor Greene count?
Do I know that person?
She's in Congress or
I saw
Dallas
Matthew
and-
McConaughey.
Oh.
Yeah, he had like in true Matthew McConaughey form, he had his shirt like open.
Yeah.
with like a cowboy hat on.
In the airport?
Yeah, this was in LA.
Of course he did.
And he had
Oh, well, it's in LA.
It's in LA.
LA airport is crazy.
I know. And he had just a swarm of chicks around him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's the only person I can think of that I've seen at the airport.
Well, I didn't see anyone, and maybe it's just because I wasn't looking, or because I just don't know that many people that travel, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it was a really nifty experience. I had the ugliest college in all of Cambridge. I will be very frank with that. Of course, me and my friends loved it because we were like, oh my gosh, we're in Cambridge, but we would see these beautiful buildings all day. Like, we'd have our classes, and then we were basically free from 3 to 10 p.m. Like, 10 p.m. was our curfew. And we were around all these beautiful, beautiful buildings. And then we come back and we just have this like concrete brick of a college. And we're like, oh man, we were.
Was this
bummed.
2 week, 3 week?
This was a 2-week trip.
Okay.
Yeah. And I studied architecture.
Wow.
Studied architecture. And my mom encouraged me to study entrepreneurship as well when I was there.
Smart.
It sounds smart, yeah, but it was kind of a bullshit class. I can swear, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
cool. It was a
100%.
bullshit class because she was like, okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to create a product and you're going to, in this class, you're going to create a product. And we're like, that's all she said. She didn't say what we're going to do with it. And then she just put on Shark Tank for the rest of the class. Mind you, this is like a 3-hour period that she just has on
You're
Shark
like, I
Tank.
can watch Shark Tank at home.
I can watch Shark Tank at home.
Yeah.
And then
That's stupid.
And then, so my friend and I, we come up with a product. We're like, okay, we're going to create like a little zine booklet, which if you're not familiar with the zine, it's like a tiny little magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mini one.
Yeah.
And we like drew up this whole zine and we're like, okay, awesome. And then she's like, okay, now you're going to sell it. And we're like, okay, to who, where? And they like all the money was going to this homeless facility, like to help out homeless people. So we're making this money, and then they're like, okay, so now you're gonna sell it. We're gonna pitch it, and we're gonna sell it. And then she just puts on Shark Tank, and it's like, girl, you're not teaching us anything. She didn't give us any ideas for the product. She didn't give us any ideas for the anything. She was just like, okay, now go. And it was such a contrast to my architecture class, where my architecture class, I was with the biggest nerd ever. The biggest nerd. And he told us everything about everything. And it was so much fun because, yes, it was a lot of information, but I also retained so much of it. And now I'm such a pain to all of my loved ones because I'll be like, look at that. It's Corinthian classic architecture. Do you see that? Do you see the arches?
I love that. I love that so much. So is architecture something that you're interested in?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
I mean, I had a fun time in the class, but I picked it because it was the only art course that program had, and I had already signed up for the program, and I already did the
Why did
whatever.
you pick Cambridge?
Good question. My mom, so when my mom was 15, she did a trip to Cambridge.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like I wanted to, she always talked about it when I was growing up. And then recently, like last year, my aunt went to Cambridge. My aunt is the same age as me. It's complicated divorce, yada, yada, yada. And my aunt went to Cambridge, and so did one of my friends. And so I was like, oh, this is a thing that I can do, too. So then I was like, I want to go to Cambridge this year. And then I made it happen. So.
And how did you make it happen?
Trials and tribulations.
I love this. I love this song so much.
I applied in December, and then in December they were like, okay, so this is literally $1 million trillion bajillion dollars, and I was like, okay, cool, awesome. So, but I knew that I had an upcoming trip from February to April. Mind you, the deadline for the payment was in April, so I only had January to make all of the money. And then, so my grandma came in clutch because I did not make all the money, and my grandma was like, "You gotta go."
Your parents said you have to raise the money for this trip. Yeah,
and I had.
Your
to
mom
make
was
the
going to
money
pay
for
for
it.
the flight, right?
Yeah, she was going to pay for the flight, but then the $1 million trillion bajillion dollars.
You had to figure it out.
And it was such a pain. I mean, there were so many times where I was like, do I even want to do this? Especially when we were like looking through all the rules and stuff, that they were like, you cannot exit this point of the of the perimeter, and there's gonna be a perimeter, and then you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do that. And I was like, literally, why am I going? And then I went, and they were super chill about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you at least get like afternoon tea somewhere?
I did.
Yeah.
I went to go get afternoon tea twice because a lot of the like kids that in my group were like Brazilian and European, and so there was one afternoon where they were like, okay, so you can either watch this football game, like as in like soccer.
Yeah.
You can either watch this football game or you can go for afternoon tea. So that afternoon, 3 people went to afternoon tea, and the other like 60 kids were watching the game.
Yeah.
Which was great for me because I loved it. And I had scones for the first time.
Yeah.
Genuine English scones.
Did you get like the jam with the clotted cream? Ah, yum.
Yeah. It was
So good.
delish. It was freaking awesome.
Oh, I love that. Yay.
But yeah, Cambridge was a super awesome experience. I made so many good friends there. There was this one girl that she was like the youngest one in all of us, and I made really good friends with her. And she put this whole thing on her Instagram story where she was like, "You're the most genuine person I've ever met. You're so nice. You're so kind." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much."
So do you have now friends that you're in touch with that you're going to stay connected to?
Yeah, I am.
Where,
I do.
Where are they from?
So, oh geez. I made friends with this girl named Chloe, and she lives in New York. And so when I was recently visiting New York in late September, I actually went and hung out with her.
That's
and she and I went to the
amazing.
Met together.
Isn't that so cool?
It's so cool.
I love that.
Knowing
I love that.
I have so many couches
So
to
much.
sleep on in so many different places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not my roommate. My roommate hated me.
Why?
I've come to realize, okay, she was a great roommate in terms of roommate things. You know, she was clean. She would leave early and she would come back late. So most of the day I had the room to myself. She was not very nice, but this only mattered because all of my other friends were like, "Oh my gosh, my roommate's the nicest person ever. We're best friends." No, my roommate was French, and she did not like
was
me.
just gonna say, where's she from?
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, exactly.
She did not like me.
That's enough said, French.
But you know what? In her defense, I was a bad roommate. Listen, I did not make her space messy. I did not make the common space messy, but my space was a war zone.
When you were signing up for this, did they have you answer the questions like, are you a night person or a morning person? Like all those kind of questions. So that in college, when I was in school in California, they did that for me too. And they completely botched it.
Yeah.
They gave me the exact opposite from my roommate. And it was terrible. And on top of it, she was from India and she was very nice. It's not that she wasn't nice. It's just we were complete opposites. And she would there was a common area, there was a living room. She didn't have to stay in the bedroom and be on the phone in the middle of the night. It was like, just go into the other room, come on, but yeah,
roommates are a toughie.
it's tough, man. It is so tough to find a good one. Well, except for your other friends.
Yeah, my other friends were having the time of their lives, and I remember it would be 11 p.m. and they'd be rough housing, and everyone would be in one room. It was a pain, but it was fun. I wasn't getting much sleep anyways. There was a night where I just legitimately did not sleep because I was so crippled with insomnia.
So here's another question. So now that you're going to be graduating soon, I don't know if this is on your list, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Cool.
Where are you thinking about continuing your education?
Well, I believe that I'm always going to be learning, and I'm going to be learning every single day that I'm alive.
I love her so much.
As for college, I know that my grandma really wants me to go to college because she really wanted my dad to go to college, and she was really adamant about me going to Cambridge. And she's like, you could just do a couple years here in California. You could stay with us, which is a thing. It's nifty. I mean, my parents went to art college and they met there, so they can't exactly say that they wish they hadn't have gone. But they do say all the time that they wish they had just had the guts to just move to New York, because that's really what they wanted to do. Is my dad was from California, my mom was from here in Puerto Rico, and they just wanted to go to college in New York. But really they would have been just fine just living in Brooklyn. It was just they didn't have the guts to really like, and of course you're surrounded by people saying that you have to go to college, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
tough.
especially during that time
That
in
era.
history. I
The
mean, I
things
feel
are-
like
Things are so different now because
Yeah.
like for me, when I graduated high school, it was just something you did. All right,
yeah,
college is
everybody. If you
next.
didn't go to college,
then
you were
kind
weird.
of you kind of
Yeah.
look. They made people look down on you.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you're just like, oh, she doesn't know what she wants to do with her life. And I actually beg to differ. I ended up going to school for a year and then taking a year and a half off because I'm like, I couldn't understand why people were spending all this money to continue on with school when they have no clue
Oh,
what
yeah,
they're
I
doing.
changed my major every year.
It just
And then it
no
made me
sense.
have to stay in school longer because
Exactly.
I kept changing my major.
And then it's
and
like,
then I
for
had to
crying
get
out loud,
extra
they have you
classes.
do 2 years of like
Nothing.
general classes
I know, it's
anyway.
stupid. It's
I had
so
to take
stupid.
like geology. Like,
Right.
how do I care about rocks? I
Yeah.
don't care about rocks. I got
Yeah.
a D in the class. I do not care.
yeah, but it's the credits, and it's all really stupid, and I could totally see how college is valuable. I crave academic validation, so I had the most amazing time being in my architecture class and pointing at something and being like, it's ionic, and then being told, yes, it is. That's correct, and being like, yes. So college would be fun for that purpose, but I mean, I don't know. I would do it if I had the opportunity. If I had a scholarship or something like that, I would totally do it. But I mean, I can also just go where I want to go and then spend money that I would have been
I think
put into student debt. You
I
know?
always tell people, I think it's so important, like young people, that like go see the world, go experience culture, go do it when you're young. It's so worth it, and that is an education in itself.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I feel like I've felt it a lot. I mean, I've traveled a lot this year. I think I went on four. I've been on 4 trips so far. One of them was the Cambridge trip. I was in Europe earlier this year, and then I was in Cambridge.
Yeah,
and
you
then
guys spent what? 2 months?
we spent
6 weeks? 8?
3 months.
Yeah,
3
it
months.
was
God,
some
I went
time.
crazy. I went so
you guys
crazy.
were all over. So where all did you go?
We went to
Spain?
California. I went to Portugal with my mom.
Portugal.
And then
I want to
Spain.
I want to go to Portugal. It's on the list.
Hungary and Poland, and then from Poland it was a whole nightmare getting back because of flights and stuff. We ended up spending a night in the Dominican Republic. It was so crazy. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to.
Well, and so let's go back. So like Poland,
Yeah.
you were there for Dirty Coin
Yeah,
premiere
the
at
premiere.
I forget what the conference was.
Film festival. It was a film festival.
So how cool was that? Like seeing your mom.
It was pretty nifty. That was my favorite stop on the trip because it was a film festival. There were a lot of people there for the film festival. So for the first time in the whole trip, except for Portugal, I guess, I was surrounded by like people that were all there for the same thing that we were there for, and I ended up making a friend. And then she and I went to the mall one day, and that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Do you have any interest in following your mom's footsteps in filmmaking
I
or?
was literally just going to ask that.
Yeah, so like I always knew that I wanted to be in the film industry. I did it first, not to brag.
Ooh.
But the reason for wanting to be in the film industry has changed over the years. So when I was a kid, I really wanted to be an actress, and then that's what my parents were like, you're not going to be a child actor. And I remember being very upset at the time, and now I understand.
Yeah.
And then that's when my dad got me into theater because both of my parents did theater, but both my parents were theater kids, which I'm sure comes no surprise to you guys.
Yeah. No.
And then that's when I got into theater. And then when I was like 9 or something, my friend gave me this graphic novel called Smile by Raina Telgemeier. And that was when I was like, oh my gosh, you can write a graphic novel about anything. I can write a graphic novel about my life. And so that's what started this whole wave of graphic novels. And then over the years, I've seen a lot of graphic novels get adapted and turned into shows. And I'm like, I want to do that. So right now, I'm actually working on a graphic novel that I plan to hopefully publish in the next couple years. And then from that publishing, get it turned into a show. And then that will kind of get my foot in the door with a lot of these animation. Yeah, right now I've been getting really into music, so I've been spending a lot of my like time and energy like learning about music.
Do you
and
play any instruments?
I really want to. I played guitar for like a year.
That's cool.
And then I didn't anymore, but I want to get a guitar again. Let's continue with a more...
Do we have a long list? How long was the list that she gave us?
It's not very long.
Trish, when
Oh.
Trish gave us her list, I actually had to scroll.
Oh, geez.
It was like that.
Hers isn't that long.
Okay.
It's not very long. I just wanted to make sure that we had time to.
I
talk
want to
about
know. I want to know about.
I want to know.
You wrote general weather frustration. Is that here?
I like this. Let's talk about that.
General weather frustration. I hate hot weather. I hate hot weather and I hate humid weather. And if you guys notice, that's what's outside.
That is outside
all
year.
the time.
Yeah.
So
With the
well,
exception
maybe
of like 3 months.
Yeah, maybe in like a month it won't be
December,
as
January,
hot or
February.
humid.
Ooh, perfect.
What's interesting is that like in the months of December and January, it's just as hot and just as humid. It just gets windier. You know?
You think?
Yeah.
I feel like
because during the summer there's no wind at all, but the illusion that makes it feel like this is colder is the fact that it's windy and the wind is coming from the ocean. It's a lot colder, yada yada.
Yeah.
So
how have you been liking all the rain?
Oh, I love rain. I love rain. As a California resident myself, as an ex-California resident, I love rain. I loved rain so much when it rained in California. Yeah, don't particularly. I love cold weather. When I was in New York, it wasn't even that cold, and I was like,
Like
not
cold,
that
cold?
Okay, here's the deal.
When were you
Yeah.
there? What time of year?
Maybe like three something.
3 weeks ago.
Oh, sorry, what?
When were you in
there?
New York?
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me what time I had to leave. And
Oh,
I was like,
no.
I don't know.
Like what month were you in New York?
I was in New York like late September, so it wasn't even that cold.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
No.
It's
that's
just
fall.
it's colder than here.
Have you been in winter?
I've been to Lake Tahoe,
Like the
in
dead of
California.
winter.
When?
You mean like 8 feet of snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Wisconsin has this thing called the polar vortex. And it's when it's so cold, they tell you do not go outside because you might die. And it's not even that it's like it's below zero for sure, but it's the wind chill that makes it
Yeah.
so much worse.
Like
That it could be like
Chicago.
negative 30 or whatever, and that's really how it is in Wisconsin. It's not the heat in the summer, it's the humidity. It's not the cold in the winter, it's the wind chill. And it's bad. It gets
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, I
We
would
have like
say
3
I
good weeks in Wisconsin.
Aww.
I don't know. I think that's too cold for me. Because the thing is that I say I like cold weather and I'd love to live somewhere cold. But this is also coming from someone who lived in California. I've never really experienced true cold. My winter was like kind of windy and we'd all be like, we have to wear our boots.
I
'cause
think
it's
she needs to
raining."
go to Wisconsin or Chicago or New York
Hey, we'll show you a good time.
in the winter.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll go snowmobiling.
We'll get you a parka and
Parka. I will be in this big marshmallow because I'm going to be so cold. I can't handle it anymore. Being in Puerto Rico completely changed me. And now I go to Wisconsin and it's 60 degrees like in June.
You're like, why would anyone
And
ever
I'm like,
live here?
I'm freezing. I had to buy a sweater. I had to
Oh,
get
goodness.
pants. It was awful.
Yeah.
And that's 60 degrees. Mind you, Wisconsinites, once winter starts to become spring-ish, we really don't have spring. We have like winter and then second and third winter and then like a couple weeks and then all of a sudden it's hot
Things
as balls.
eventually melt.
Kind of. And so, it lost my train of thought. Help me.
Wisconsinites.
Oh, yes. Thank you. As soon as it hits 40 degrees,
it's shorts weather.
they are bringing out their summer clothing. It's insane. You will see people in shorts all over.
Yeah.
Well,
I
in
mean,
Colorado,
yeah.
you never put them away because it can be December,
Yeah, that's
January,
right. But you
February,
know what?
and it can be 50 or 60
So-
sun shining and you're wearing shorts. 'Cause
So
it's-
after we went on that trip, and by the way, I thought Colorado was absolutely stunning, and I definitely want to go back. Like, really want to go back, and I will. But I will say this: as much as I appreciate dry weather, that place is so dry.
Yeah.
I had bloody nose almost every
know.
single day.
It takes
my skin. I was looking at pictures. I'm like, what is wrong with my skin? There's a wrinkle there. What is that? It's because it's so dry.
Yeah, but you have great hair.
I had great hair.
Yeah.
Great hair in
Everything.
Colorado.
I
I
had
mean,
great
that
hair.
is definitely that's definitely something I don't miss about California is the every year just getting like this weird dry skin in between my fingers.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, at least you weren't getting bloody noses every day. That was like a special kind of dry.
Yikes.
Back to the list.
Okay. Heart attack story.
Oh, okay. Yes, heart attack story. This requires context. Many moons ago, this was the first
How
year.
many moons?
How many moons? This was the first year that I was living here, so this was 2021, but this was when my buzz cut had grown out a significant amount. So this was maybe like in August? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyways, I'm sitting and this is when our house just had a TV and like a free chair that we got that was so uncomfortable, and also it was velvet, and I hate velvet furniture because of how it feels. So I'm sitting in this velvet chair and I'm eating an entire pizza by myself, and I'm watching Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the beloved, I think 2010 movie that I absolutely adore. And that was my first time watching it, and I just hear this scuttling, and it's a very loud scuttling. This isn't a small animal. And I turn, and I see on my staircase, it was at least like 1.5 feet long. And it was flat. I don't want to say it was a centipede because I feel like a centipede is like one of those round ones. This was a millipede, which is one of those flat ones, I think. I don't know what a millipede is. But it was
We're going to need to Google this.
It was a
Can you
flat-
get Jordan to...
I think that centipedes are they're bigger, aren't they?
I don't know.
No, it has to do with how many legs they have.
Is it like
Yeah.
the difference between a quadrilateral and a square, and it's just like
keep talking.
It gets more
You
specific?
keep talking. I'll look it up.
It's a flat bug. It's got 1 million legs, and it's scuttling like a little snake.
Scuttle. I
And
like that
How
word.
long is this thing?
It was at least like 1.5 feet long. And
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. And I put it, and I'm watching. It went behind my TV. And
Oh
I'm
my
thinking,
God.
I have to do something. And so I grabbed the biggest bowl that we have, and I just, and I put it on top.
So that would freak me out. I really hate centipedes. They bite. They're little a-holes.
Yeah.
So millipedes, fun fact, millipedes have 2 sets of legs per segment positioned directly under their bodies. Centipedes have 1 set of legs per segment positioned on the side of their bodies.
Can I see a picture?
Yes.
Oh, that's so scary. I hate
I need to see. I need to see.
Centipedes get big.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Like, and you know how I feel about spiders? Well, I dislike centipedes and millipedes much more than even spiders,
Okay.
which says something.
Imagine that centipede with twice as many legs.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Gross.
I trapped this thing under a bowl.
Where
I
is
have
your
to get
family
this
at this
off
point?
My
screen.
family
Ugh.
is
They're all
my
gone.
siblings are asleep, I think,
Okay.
and then my family, my mom and my dad are away, and so
So you're
I'm
home
freaking out.
babysitting,
I'm home
basically.
babysitting.
Okay.
I'm freaking out. I have it under the bowl. I'm like, I don't want to continue eating my pizza next to this thing.
No,
So
no.
I text my mom and dad. I'm like, listen, there's this bug that is crazy.
We're gonna need you to come
I trapped
home.
it under a bowl, and so I spent the rest of the evening up in my room, and then I hear this scream, and it's my mom who had the guts to lift the bowl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did she have something ready?
No,
before
She just
don't
thought
do
you were
that.
over.
She thought
like-
I was overreacting.
Yeah, yeah.
She thought I was like, oh, it's probably just like 6 inches long. It's just a
Right.
little bug,
No,
you know.
like how big? Like we're talking like here. Like this is your pointer finger. Was it thicker than like your pointer finger?
oh, girl, yes.
So and then was it like Was it what like a foot?
It was okay. I'm taking my mic away from. Okay, it was like
Stop it!
No.
Stop it!
not this big, not that big. It was like.
Stop it!
Okay.
Like a
she's-
1.5 feet, and then it was like 2 inches wide at
No.
least, not including its legs.
There's
With
no
its
way.
legs, it was
Oh
like 4 inches.
my God.
It was the scariest thing. My mom thought I was overreacting. She thought that I was just being a scaredy cat who's scared of little bugs. Look at this city girl
I didn't know
has
they
only
got
seen
that
tiny little
big.
spiders.
I
it was
would
scary.
freak the fuck out
Yeah.
if I saw that in my
Yeah.
house. And I killed a snake in my house.
Ooh.
Murdered it.
Aw.
Murdered it.
Oh, didn't we talk about
Yes, we
this
did.
on
I can't.
on
Yeah, we'll have to.
Rustin's?
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, listen to Rustin's episode.
Okay.
Listen to your dad's
I
episode.
like snakes.
Yeah, I do not. It's
Yeah.
my nope. It's
I do not
it's a no.
either.
I mean, I understand
I
why
would
people
burn the
don't.
house
I don't
down.
like anything with the slotted eyes. You know, there's like cats and stuff. No, I
What?
just don't really care for them.
I like my cat.
Well, I'm super allergic, so it doesn't.
That's a bummer for you.
It is a huge bummer, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
mean.
therefore, my
like,
cat
meh.
isn't. You gotta meet my cat. So yeah, that's where it got named. It got dubbed Heart Attack because I got a heart attack when I saw it.
So, did your mom have a heart attack when she lifted?
Oh, absolutely! I heard the scream. I went downstairs. I'm like, "You lifted the bowl, didn't you?"
Did she kill it though?
Yeah. What did she
No,
do?
it ran out. My
You've
dad
gotta be kidding
opened.
me.
My dad opened the door and it ran outside.
Oh, and it just ran outside.
Yeah, like they chased it and it ran outside, and might be longer
So that
today.
thing is still
out
there, roaming around Palmas.
And
oh my
I would have
God!
to,
Keep your children safe tonight.
I would have to
kidding.
fact check this with Jordan, but that's what I named my AI. Anyway, his name is Jordan.
Oh.
And but I feel like aren't centipedes kind of dangerous for animals if they eat them, like
That
a dog
one
or
is.
something, isn't it?
That
Well,
one would kill
Rufus,
something from
Rufus
the inside.
isn't
Here,
eating that
hold on.
thing.
We're
It's
gonna-
bigger than him.
I'm gonna ask Jordan.
I
Hold on.
really hope it's dead by now. I really do.
This was a few years ago, and it might be.
it's
bigger.
got to be gone.
Hey, Jordan. So, real quick question. Like centipedes, like big ones, are they dangerous if like a dog ate one? Like, would a dog get sick or die?
Hey, Bex. If a dog eats a large centipede, it could cause some issues. While not usually fatal, the dog might experience symptoms like vomiting, drooling, or mild irritation,
I mean,
especially
it
if
does
the
that
centipede
already.
bit the dog. It's best to monitor the dog closely and consult a vet if you notice any concerning symptoms.
So just like normal dog stuff.
Rufus, stay away from centipedes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
that
like-
was
He's passed
It's like,
out
are
right
you
now.
guys still talking?
that was probably the scariest experience I've ever had in my entire life.
I can't. It's hard to believe that it. Like I'm doing what your mom probably did. I can't believe that it was that big. I can't believe that was. I can't get over that.
Yeah.
Really. Like
I have a video somewhere, but I'm not going to dig for it because
you saw the
we'll be
picture.
hearing.
Did it look more like a millipede or a centipede?
It looked more like a centipede because it was flat. Yeah.
Oh.
Gross.
If it was round, I'd be like, "Huh, you look dumb,"
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. If it was round and it was a foot and a half long, I still would be
How-
freaked
That
out.
would still be
Centipede.
kind of scary, but I feel like
Yeah.
I would be able to like cut off its head a little bit easier.
Ew.
But this thing was like scuttling, it's
Gross.
jittering.
So gross.
Very gross.
So centipedes can vary greatly in size depending upon the species. Oh my gosh, there's more species.
I don't
want
wanna- I don't wanna know
It's not
this
just one
shit.
species. Oh my gosh, you are not kidding. Can range from under 2.5, like an inch, 2.5 centimeters, to over 12 inches long.
This was some Jurassic Park
Well,
shit.
this is a large species. It's Amazonian. Giant.
Yeah,
centipede.
no wonder.
How did it get here from South America? Can grow up to 12 inches. It is the largest, most striking species.
I hate that. I hate that.
This is really gross.
Ew. Okay, let's move on. I don't like this topic anymore.
We can name the episode something like
but-
centipedes and whatever, but I think
also,
I think we're
I
wrong
have
for
to
this.
say, I really enjoyed this. She's so artistic, and this is what another thing I love about you is when you're giving these like notes to Aaron, like you just titled that one "Heart Attack," and
Yeah.
and here I'm actually trying to figure out what does that mean? Is this what kind of story is this? And we're talking about centipedes.
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah,
just-
I mean,
scariest
she
fucking
she could have put it like the centipede story.
yeah,
The
exactly.
centipede.
Which is
But
yeah.
no, it's a heart attack.
We were
Yeah.
the thing is that in my house we refer to it as the heart attack story. So
Yeah.
I figured that would also gain better insight into how my family perceives this.
Yeah.
Well
story.
played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, moving on to the failed eyebrow piercing.
Oh, this one's gonna be fun.
What I'm forgetting everything I wrote.
She doesn't
down.
have an eyebrow piercing.
I do not
so it
have
really
an eyebrow
did fail.
piercing.
Yeah.
I have the scar where it was. In March of this year, I begged my mother to let me have a piercing for my birthday, to let me get an eyebrow piercing. And, it took some convincing. It always does. And she let me get it. And so I went like this was across the street from this place that we were staying in Spain. And so I got it done in Spain. It cost like $20. And it was a good piercing process. It took like 5 minutes. My piercer was super duper nice and just like
what kind of piercing was it? Like gun or needle?
it was a needle, yeah,
Okay.
because the gun
I think it has to be. For
the gun
eyebrow.
explodes.
That's why I was wondering why if it was failed.
Yeah, I think I would have like a little bit more of like a lobotomy type of
Well, I have a failed
essence.
I have a failed belly button piercing story that was done with a gun, and
Yeah.
my skin rejected it.
Yeah, girl. No, don't do that.
No,
don't get pierced. This goes out to everyone in the audience. Do not get pierced with a gun. A needle is way more precise.
Yes, it is.
I got it pierced. It looked great. It did great. He told me to clean it with like eye drops, and that's what I did. And so it was
with eye drops.
yeah.
Oh,
Because if it gets in
interesting.
your eyes, you don't want to like fuck
yeah,
up your
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Ah.
So I'm cleaning it and I'm doing all the things. I'm not touching it and it's healing and it's doing great. And then when I was in New York, it developed this like weird swelling, and I don't really want to get too graphic because I understand that that's probably kind of gross to
Because we're
listen
going
to.
from one gross story to
Dear listener, I am sparing you the details.
Like a fluffy story? Is there a fluffy story on there that we can talk about next?
yes, it
Okay,
actually
okay.
It truly is a fluffy story.
Okay, good.
Okay. Yeah. So it was kind of gross looking, and I was like, listen, I would rather make it look like I have a zit on my face than I have a nasty piercing on my face. So I took out the barbell thinking, oh, this is probably just like a zit or something. Both holes closed up within the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
How long was this after you had it done?
Because this was in March. Maybe like about 7 months later.
Okay,
Oh.
and how quickly did it close up?
Like in a like the next day. Like the next day it was
It
like,
already
oh,
started
okay,
to
there's
heal.
no more hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the scar to prove it. Yeah, but you know what? I'm not even that disappointed because I wanted to pierce the other side anyways because I want to get a nose piercing. And then if I were to have the eyebrow piercing, I don't want both my piercings on the same side because that would
I get you.
get my
Many
goat, you know?
moons
Get you.
ago.
Many moons ago.
Many moons ago. The cool thing for us, not just navel, but it was cartilage.
Oh yeah.
And so
Mhm.
we had, and I still kind of have a hole there. I don't think it
I
really
never
ever
did
closed. I
cartilage.
don't think it closed
Well,
up.
I mean, I guess I did this one.
I don't know if it's closed because I can
But
still,
like,
I
I'm
can still
talking like
feel the
this.
hole.
This.
But this was, yeah, I heard that one hurt like a mother, man. I did
To
not
our
like that.
audio listeners, they are pointing
Oh, sorry.
to the like
Thank you.
kind of
What are we pointing at?
they're pointing at the higher part of the
We
ear.
have to-
Maybe
this-
we need to have Emilia
we have
on
to keep
as
this
our
relatively PG-13 because she is 16.
right.
Teehee.
Cartilage ear, the ear cartilage.
For sure.
Yeah.
The piece of the ear. You guys know.
You know,
I got some fake nose rings
Mm-hmm.
for my poker persona. Oh, you don't know. So Trish, when we play poker, told me when we first started playing, she was like, you need to have a poker persona. And
Oh.
so I have created a poker persona.
I love the name.
I see.
It
My
is.
name is Paige
Last name.
Turner. Paige Turner. And I wear glasses and a big floppy hat. And then I decided that I needed to add a nose ring, but I didn't really want a nose ring. So I got fake ones. And I
Yeah.
wore it the other day. And let me just tell you that it feels like I have a giant booger in my nose. I kept like picking and I was like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have this fake
So it's like a
nose.
little magnet, is it?
The one that I wore it's like a little hoop and you just like squeeze it on.
Oh my gosh, did you know who? It wasn't even just like a stud.
I do have one that's magnetic, but that's even harder because then when you feel like you have that booger in there and you wipe, then it comes
Yeah,
off.
let's maybe not
So-
ingest any magnets.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's really funny.
So-
I can't wait to see your.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
I'm
I was saving that for a
I feel like I
surprise
need
for
to
you,
come
and
up
now you
with-
know.
I need a persona for Mino.
Yeah.
Because I love when we play poker. We have
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
So
They call me
just
Sassy.
something to think about with the whole nose ring that it might feel like you have a booger up there all the time.
For sure. I actually had a fake one that I was
Yeah.
wearing for a little while just to like see how I felt. I also
Yeah.
had a fake septum, which is like the middle part of your nose
Yeah.
for audio listeners. And I don't know. I didn't like how it looked on me. I feel like it looked like it was kind of framing my big ass nostrils. So I
don't
like the
think
side
those
one
look
more.
good. I don't mind like the little nose ring. My sister had one, and I thought it looked really cute on her. But
I think that the septum ring, it only looks good because the pictures of people that I see have like petite little fairy noses.
I think it's like with anything else. Like it's kind of like some
like,
people
oh,
are some
yeah.
people are hat people. Some people just do not look good in hats.
Right.
It doesn't work for everybody.
true.
Yeah.
True.
And it's like, just because the skinny model looks good in this shirt doesn't
Bitches.
mean you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate them.
Okay, so we're gonna move on
Fluffy.
to something fluffy.
I don't remember what I wrote.
You have a new kitty.
I do.
See, real
Oh,
fluffy.
very
I
fluffy.
mentioned her multiple times.
Yeah.
She is the silliest darn thing. I wish I had her here because she would have so much to say. She talks so much. I will hear her. I will be in my room working on schoolwork, and I will hear her going, meow, meow, meow.
I always see
I
these
thought Rufus
reels.
would
I always
react.
see
He didn't.
reels of cats, and I find them hysterical because cats have so much attitude. And
They
I
do.
actually like it sucks that I'm like super allergic. It's not that I hate them or anything. I think that they can be little assholes, but
Yeah.
but like they're interesting. They're interesting
They're
animals.
very interesting.
And like some of them, you know these people in these videos will be like, "Hey, would you like a little snack?" No. And they actually sound like they're saying words, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's a circle."
Oh, that's funny.
I like it.
Meow.
So you have a new kitty.
I do have a new
What's the kitty's name?
Roxy.
Rox.
Her name's Roxy. She's still in her like kitten stage, but
Is this
judging from her
a
personality,
play off of like Chicago musical?
No,
Roxy.
no.
Have you seen Chicago?
No.
That's a musical.
Listen, just because I was a theater kid, that doesn't mean I've seen every musical ever. I've watched the first 15 minutes of Moulin Rouge. I'm not perfect.
What?
I know. I'm
Mulan's like one of my favorites.
I
wanna
actually
watch it.
want to go, and I have actually France is really not on my list. Like Paris, it's not really on my list, but I would love to go see like Moulin Rouge.
So that's funny. The first time I went to Paris, I stayed down the street from Moulin Rouge. You'll like this. Did you ever watch the movie Amelie?
Yeah.
I stayed in the hotel
Oh.
that Amelie was filmed. It was really cute.
Uh-oh.
But Moulin Rouge was down the street, but I didn't go because everybody told me that it was like,
Mer.
yeah, it's kind of like the
But
tourist
mid.
thing
It's
to
one
do.
of those. It's one of those shows that if I see it on Broadway or whatever, I will. And New York. I'm
I'm
not
talking like
biggest
the
fan of
real
New York
Moulin
either.
Rouge, like with
No,
the
I'm talking
thing.
about.
I'm not talking
and
about
I'm
the
talking
show.
about that too.
Yeah, okay.
But also,
Just making sure we're on the
if
same page.
in the United States,
Yeah,
there is a Broadway show.
I gotcha. Yeah,
And I see that there's tickets.
I would totally do that.
I would go.
Yeah, I would totally do
Okay,
that.
great.
Moulin Rouge is a fun one. It's just, again, what we were talking about.
You've
where
only
it's
seen
just-
15 minutes.
I know. It's just, again, one of those things where that we were talking about before we started recording. That was like, I have so many things that in the back of my mind I want to watch, but then when it's time for me to watch something, I'll be like, okay, more Impractical Jokers.
Okay, can you please? First of all, I love Impractical Jokers.
really good.
I've seen them in like live.
What?
They're hysterical.
I thought
They
they
are
were.
so much
Yeah.
fun. I love them.
Who's your favorite?
I don't even know what you're talking
Who do you
about.
think is my favorite?
Well, my favorite's Sal because he's kind of a loser.
Me too. He's such a dork.
He's such a loser.
He's so
Every
he's like,
single
"Mer."
episode, I'm
it's
like, he's
like,
gonna
oh,
lose.
Salmer.
I have no idea what they're talking about. So
Oh.
You just don't understand.
Just
us.
you know what?
No.
Do me a favor, as somebody who likes and appreciates musicals, will you at least put Chicago on your list?
I know the one where it's like they both reach for the gun
Yeah.
because people were creating really good animatics
Yeah.
out of that one.
Yeah.
I will look into it.
Thank
she's
you.
She's named Roxy. My mom came up with the name. That it's like she's a she keeps saying that she's a surfer kitty. So Roxy like
Roxy,
brand.
the brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I did not want the name Roxy. But the only way that I would kind of let it happen is if we could spell it Roxy instead of Roxy. It was Roxie.
Oh, okay.
Because Roxie is the same way it's spelled as for one of the evil X's in Scott Pilgrim, one of the characters.
Yeah,
in
right,
Scott
yeah.
Pilgrim. So that was how that happened.
Okay.
Any hoozles.
Okay, so you are an art tutor.
I am.
And you teach kids mostly, right?
Yes.
Or do you do pods for like the homeschool?
No, I haven't. Not yet. I've heard some people are kind of interested in it, but I haven't really, like, honestly, I haven't really been putting myself out there in terms of like, hey guys, this is a thing that I do. I have one student that I tutor like at least once a week, and then I just haven't really had the time to squeeze more in. But yeah, I mean, I it's something I really enjoy doing. I remember this kind of came from a brief stint when I was in 6th grade, and I went to fifth grade, and I went to Hoover Middle School in San Jose, California.
You're so silly. Silly.
God.
I had some really amazing teachers. I had some really awful teachers. Like, it was a very much like a striking balance. But I had some really amazing teachers that made me want to be a teacher. Now, of course, now I'm a little bit more like maybe teacher isn't the best career path because they don't get paid nothing, and it's not just about money, but it's been fun these last couple of years to be able to teach kids and then just genuinely have those connections with them without like something like a school district getting in the way, or like you know, the fact that you're seeing them out of like, I don't know, hundreds of other kids or something like that. But yeah, that want to teach kind of stemmed from the teachers that I had in middle school that really just inspired me. Like, I don't give a shit about science. I mean, like in the terms of like, I don't give a shit about like mitochondria and that kind of stuff. But when my teacher showed up with a space suit just for fun, I was ready to learn anything. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I am an art tutor. To those audio listeners, I am available most
Available
weekdays
for
in
hire.
in the afternoon. Hopefully not too early because I kind of wake up at 10 p.m.
That's my girl. You're amongst good company.
Yeah.
So,
Are you still doing like house sitting and
I am, yeah.
cool?
I am. I mean, it's more of like a people will contact me and then
Yeah.
it's not something that
Like
I'm,
checking on
advertised.
houses
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
I was just curious with your mom doing dirty coin and your dad doing sourdoughshy.
Housewife.
No, I'm just thinking because like
Oh, did you
very
say-
well, but like all
your
the
dad, by the way, is super dad. He is like
Yeah.
super dad.
Yeah, he is the homeschool dad.
Yeah, he's
so
awesome.
all the crypto stuff. I was just thinking, like, have you ever considered getting paid in crypto for like the art and the other things that you do?
Not genuinely. I mean, I will accept Bitcoin as I do have like a wallet.
Okay,
you know?
that
is a thing that will happen. But like,
Yeah.
I would rather get paid in something that like
Cash money.
You like cash money. You know, I like cash money.
Cash
Yeah,
money.
but think about
Cash
it this
money.
way: if you got paid in crypto, like, $10 a year ago, it would be a lot more.
Yeah,
It'd be worth a lot more now.
yeah. That is.
So like
something that I've
investing
thought
in your
about.
future if you didn't need the money to spend, immediately.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think for savings and stuff, that's definitely something that I can think about. But for right now, as I am a teenager, I just
Yeah.
want all my money right now.
I
wanna
get
go
you.
Buy things. I want to go to the
Totally.
mall.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you were doing this until I saw you there last Saturday or whenever it was at the farmer's market. You're volunteering
yes.
with
What?
Jen there, done that.
Yes, I am.
Look
Yeah.
at you.
So are you volunteering with Jen or with Growing PR or Levantando?
I am volunteering for Jen, but I have been helping her run the Levantando stand
Okay.
because Ruth and Evian and Roger's kind of running her. Ruth and Evian are running Growing PR, but because Jen's running around, she asked me to run the Levantando stand. I honestly don't know what I'm going to be doing next week because the last couple weeks have been promoting the fundraiser dinner.
Yeah.
Do we have another one on Saturday, right?
Yes,
this Saturday?
I
Yeah.
think this Saturday.
Oh, thank goodness.
This last Saturday was the dinner, and I was also there. Now, I have heard that there's something of a lightning round.
Oh my goodness. Seriously? Can we do this with you? I'm so excited.
Yay. Pick
Pick
a
something.
song
Yes.
that
sing
has
us
like something interesting.
something interesting to get us started.
Oh, guys, you can't actually pick one song. I just keep having this one lyric pop up into my head, but
Let's
I just
sing it.
Yeah.
I am an arms dealer, fitting you with weapons in the form of words, and don't really care which side wins, long as the room keeps singing. That's just the business I'm in.
Ooh, look at her.
Wow.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
All right, here we go. You have a minute to answer these 10
I have a minute.
questions.
Jesus Christ.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay, here we go.
You got this.
Favorite color?
Red.
Movie?
Can we wrap around back to that?
Yep.
Musician band?
Musician band. Okay, My Chemical Romance, easy.
Food?
Food, pizza.
Hobby?
Hobby, definitely drawing.
Places you visit? Place.
Places I've been.
Place. Favorite place?
Place I've been.
Favorite-
Singular.
Favorite place you visited?
Probably New York.
An animal?
Animal. My cat.
Sport to watch?
Hockey.
Different than sport to play.
Sport to play?
Sport. I don't play sports. Look at me.
Not true. Volleyball.
Running low on
I
time.
played volleyball one time. Okay.
Okay.
That's like when I first met you, I think.
I haven't played volleyball since.
Okay. Anyway.
You know what? I'm adding one to this. Book.
Book. Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Ooh, I love that. Ice cream flavor.
Any. I like ice cream.
And back to movie real quick.
Back to movie.
4 seconds.
4 seconds. I'm gonna say Whip It.
Okay, look at her.
Whip it.
Okay. No. Okay. Actually, let's.
What is that?
So Whip It is a movie from 2005, I think, and it's about a roller derby team in Austin, Texas. But that's
Oh,
actually not my
okay.
favorite movie. It's just a movie I've been thinking about a lot lately. My favorite movies. Hang on, I actually have a list in my notes.
Wow.
Probably What We Do in the Shadows is a really good one that I like. And it's like a mockumentary about these vampires that live in an apartment together in New
Oh.
Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You know what? I have a different list than that. I have an updated list. That,
Oh, goodness.
Because I was like, I felt like there was a question missing off of that, and I remember what it is. It was favorite app on your phone.
Oh yeah.
Favorite app, Pinterest.
Okay.
Pinterest or Tumblr?
I always like hearing that from people, like what they love, to use.
Yeah.
So
if you look at my screen time, it's either like Pinterest or Tumblr that take up most of my time.
I feel like I want to ask you a
Sixth
couple
grade.
random questions.
Cool.
How do you like your marshmallows?
I like my okay. I like my marshmallows kind of burnt.
Okay.
I'm fine. I mean, I haven't cooked a marshmallow in a really long time, but like if I can get it golden brown, I'll be happy with it. But really, if you give me like a soot,
Yeah.
just like a ball of soot, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love they have to be
I-
on fire, blown out. They could be on fire again.
But that's what I do. I like to take my time with it. I like to burn it, take off that layer, eat it, then burn it again, burn it again.
Oh,
But I'm
jeez.
also horrible. Like with like a Reese's peanut butter cup, I will eat all the chocolate around the edge, then the chocolate on top, then the chocolate on the bottom, and then eat the peanut butter separate.
How is that even
That's
possible?
like skinning a tomato before you eat it.
I'm a freak.
Well,
Yeah.
we know.
So can we? I know that we keep saying that. At least I keep saying we're gonna retire the question, but I haven't come up with a good enough one to replace it yet. So I want to ask her.
Okay.
So
Superpower?
superpower. So
Superpower.
this is called superpower goof ups.
Dun, 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 superpower goof ups.
You can have any superpower, but it has a quirk. What is it?
I hate driving,
Okay.
so I think like teleportation would be cool.
But how? What's the quirk?
The quirk is that I can't pick the exact place I'm gonna end up.
Mhm.
Like maybe I can think of a place, but there's like a 100-foot radius that I could also appear in, and then from wherever I am, I have to run to the place. That could be interesting.
Or you could like show up in somebody's bathroom.
Yeah, that would definitely be something that would happen.
My bad. Glitches sometimes.
Sorry.
Whoopsie. I
actually kind of like that.
Don't
one.
mind me.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
good.
Well, guys, this
Seriously.
has been fun.
We
So
absolutely
fun.
enjoyed having
Which
you
we
on.
knew
You
it
were
would be.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We were the moment that I found out that we were going to be on, I was so excited. I'm like, that's going to be a great episode. Period.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we look forward to chatting with you more in town, seeing the awesome pictures that you're
Indeed.
about to draw, and
Yep.
I ask all audio listeners if they're going to talk to me about something that they heard in this podcast but that I haven't told them personally. They have to bring up that they heard it in the podcast so that I'm not just like, how do you know this? I'm not lost, okay?
Right.
And also, people, I am very bad at remembering names and I'm very bad at remembering faces. If you talk to me, I might not know who you are or I might recognize you but not know your name, and it's not anything personal. I'm just not very good with that kind of stuff.
You're good. We're all like that.
Yeah. It's hard, especially here.
Oh,
Like,
I
you
do
meet
it.
so many people.
I have a thing that I do, and now everybody's about to know what I do, which is going to be really funny. So when I don't know, I can't remember somebody's name, and I mean well. I really do mean well.
Yeah.
I will have the person that I'm hanging out with be like, hey, introduce yourself to that person, so they tell you their name, and then I'll remember.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
we all do that.
Yeah, I just feel
Sometimes
bad.
that doesn't work and they're just like, oh, hi.
Unless
The worst thing is when it's months later and you're like, I should know their name by now.
Yeah.
Kind of like Sean with you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's
I don't know if we've told that story, but it's a funny story.
Yeah.
That's something that
Well,
happens.
we
at
can
most
talk
of
about
the-
that when we have Sean on for
Let's
real.
do that. We'll
Yeah.
do that with
Do
Sean's
that.
episode. Yeah.
There have been times where I'm at like one of these conferences with my mom or like I'm at one of these
conferences
film
doesn't
festivals.
even count.
But the thing is that like people will remember me because
Yeah.
I'm like the only teenager there, and
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
like eyes that look like raccoons, and I'm wearing and like so I'm very memorable to them.
Yeah.
But
They all look the same.
You guys, I mean, you're all just wearing various different shades of the same sweater.
Or a t-shirt. Or a t-shirt.
or it's the same T-shirt with just a different
jeans
logo
and-
on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry,
It's
I
so
don't.
true.
There have been people who I swear I've introduced myself to like 4 or 5 times, and I feel so bad because I'm like, it's just not very memorable. But
Yeah.
like to them, I am. You know, like if I feel like I shouldn't be because I like talk to them for like a minute and then I take off. But they remember my name, they remember where I'm from, they remember who my mom is, and I moved away from the mic a lot there.
That's okay.
So hopefully y'all
It's
got
all
that.
good. We are so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's it, man.
Yeah.
This
that's
was
toughie.
seriously.
We love you, Emilia.
You are awesome.
Thank
Cannot
you
wait
so
for this
much
one to
for
launch.
being on.
Love, 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 love.